Welcome back, besties, to the FanTEAsy Podcast, where two besties spill all the delicious tea on the books we read. I'm Callie, and my bestie is obviously Montana, and we are so excited to be joining the revolution. Please, if you haven't already done so, go leave a review, subscribe to our podcast, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to be the first to know of all new episodes and updates.
As we join the revolution, we will be breaking apart Iron Flame into 4 chapters roughly at a time. We're diving into theories, world building, dragons, more signets, and everything else in between.
Remember, this podcast is a full deep dive, and we will be covering Iron Flame and Fourth Wing in addition to tons of fan theories as well as our own. So please make sure you have read both books, as we don't want to spoil any of the fun and drama for you.
Both books in the Empyrean series do contain mature content, and Callie and I are adults. We swear a lot. We will be talking about all the graphic things, so just take note, and if it's not really your jam, click on out of here. But we are rating this episode rated R.
With that being said, are you ready to join the revolution?
Okay. Before we do this, though, of course, the time and true question, what era are you in?
Reputation. Definitely Reputation.
Because same. That's where I've been living for like last week.
I feel like I'm like fully in rep between this and then my read of Queen of Shadows. I can't get out of Reputation.
I can't either. And it's like not even like a specific song. I'm just like, I'm the whole album right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and
like,
these chapters were
King of my heart.
Yeah, these chapters were good. We're getting into some nitty gritty, juicy stuff. These are shorter chapters this episode, but some big key moments happening. So I'm excited to dive into them.
We love. Let's just do it. What's our monologue?
Chapter 5. The riders are ready to party, and party they do. For Violet and her friends, Rhiannon, Riddick, and Nadine are all second years now. They relish in their accomplishments and enjoy a few drinks as they all fraternize with the other riders in the quadrant. But Violet is not so quick to join Xaden in bed at the end of the night. Instead, she and Xaden meet a new administrator, Major Bearish, Colonel Crybaby's new best friend and sidekick to all things evil. Chapter 6. Colonel Crybaby has the audacity to threaten Violet and her sister Mira, leaving Violet to strike lightning across the night sky. With the sky heating up, so is the chemistry between Xaden and Violet. Vi can't quite discern her feelings, and the alcohol isn't making the decision to ignore them any easier. But there is one good thing to come from this night. Rhiannon got promoted to squad leader. Chapter 7. Welcome to Rider Survival Course, or RSC. The Dragon Riders will now learn what to do in the case they fall off or are separated from their dragons. Ooh-wee! If that isn't terrifying enough, their new second-year professor, Professor Grady, said they will all start preparing for survival techniques, navigation, and the worst of all, torture. Chapter 8. Conscription Day is here for the new first years. With so many new faces coming into the Riders Quadrant, Violet is surprised to see a couple familiar faces as well. One being our beloved Liam Mari's little sister, Sloane. Although Violet is quick to help her where needed, Sloane is the first to shut out Violet and let her hatred be known. With the parapet done, the new cadets make their way into the courtyard and all hell breaks loose when Solus, Major Vengeance's dragon, decides to open flame on the entire courtyard.
Fucking dick.
There's some shit that happens.
I'm like, oh yeah, these first few chapters.
No,
and then
it's
like,
not like
the last one.
Yeah, it's kind of like starting Fourth Wing. It does kind of start slower. I mean, obviously there's like shit right at the beginning, but it's still like, oh, like she's thriving still. Like she's figuring it out. You're like rooting for Violet, and then
she's the poison master.
Yes, and then like you start Iron Flame, and I have no trust anymore in Rebecca. Everything has gone out the window. Everyone is a bad guy. Everyone is evil. So at this point, obviously in a reread even, I'm like, I'm catching all these fucking red flags. You are not putting anything past me anymore. I'm so stressed.
And Rebecca shared her very first teaser today for Onyx Storm.
Yeah.
Like girlfriend. Instead of I will not die today and being all crossed out, I will save him today. I'm like,
I am stressed.
You better save him.
I don't know who him is, but you better save him.
It's gotta be
Xaden. Obviously.
But then she's gonna be saying that and then be like, it's Riddick.
Oh!
No, we will riot.
We'll fucking riot. Oh, I just got
Sawyer,
like chills and heart palpitations all at the same time.
Sorry, my bad.
It better not be Riddick. That's all I have to say. Don't do that.
Or Sawyer. Or Imogen. Or Bodhi. Or Garrick.
It could be Dane. I don't know.
Rebecca, hear us out.
I mean, all right. Let's get into chapter 5 before we get ahead of ourselves.
Yes. What's our summary?
Graduation ceremony is complete and the new orders are in. The riders continue to party hardy while they wait for the new candidates to come in just a few short days to cross the parapet, just as they did 1 year ago. Violet and Xaden have some trouble in paradise as they can't seem to see eye to eye or bed to bed. Then Xaden and Violet are introduced to our newly most hated administrator, Major Varish, who is, of course, besties with no other than Colonel Ados. I hate everything. I hate it here.
These bitches. We fighting like.
Just want to take Varish out already.
Okay, but the fact that this is our topic and literally our excerpt of chapter 5. After 3 consecutive deaths of prisoners during his interrogations, it is this command's opinion that Major Burton Varish should be reassigned from an active wing until further notice. Now, this was a missive from an outpost, right, that was sent to Melgren. And obviously, we don't know when. So, was he sent right before he came to Pasquiath, or was this previous in his time as a writer? But, we already know from the get-go that he's a piece of shit.
He's the worst.
And, they're like, oh, well, he's interrogating people till they die. Oh, let's go send him to a bunch of 20-year-olds.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
What? Tell me the logic here.
Especially for, Violet coming straight out of Erasia, and she's now carrying the information that she knows. The stress that I have, and I know what happens with the stress that I have. Ugh. Yep.
I just... The very first time I read his name in this reread, it was just chills in my spine.
Oh, immediately.
Ugh. Yes, I hate.
Immediately.
Hate. I feel like the Grinch. Hate.
Double hate. Loathe. Entirely. This is my favorite Christmas movie. Jim Carrey is the absolute best. Saint to be human for creating that movie. Thank you. Yeah, so, and I just want to relish in this too. They've made it this far, and I just want them to stay in this bubble of we did it. We did our first year. We survived, even though it's quick turnaround and there's new cadets coming in. But I'm can we just stay here? in this happy little moment.
We are, for the most part, alive and well.
Mm-hmm.
Not really, but
a
those
fun
that
little
don't know, they are.
Yeah, I know. The fun little tidbit I noted right at the beginning of this chapter is so they're, having a few beverages, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And it says tables overflowing with food and pitchers of sweet wine, frothy ale, a lavender lemonade that clearly has its fair share of distilled liquor. But I'm like, oh, a lavender lemonade? So now I'm like, that drink needs to be made.
I'm going to see you in a week and a half.
I know.
A week from tomorrow.
It's a week from tomorrow. By the time this episode comes out, it'll only be Sunday, 4 days.
That just made my whole day.
Oh, well, I'm so glad.
This whole time I'm like, okay, a week and a half, and I'm like,
less
we're
less
almost
of that.
officially at a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
It kind of stresses me out.
We are happy. We are partying. We are drinking
drunk.
lavender lemonade. And Violet's had a wee bit too much. And Riddick is out here like, oh, I want to, fraternize with the other units because it's getting a little incestuous in here.
Oh, gross. It is. It's really gross.
It's so funny. I guess Nadine's the one that says that, but Riddick's out there like, I want to see what the healers are doing. Who's in infantry that I could hit?
Just give that one a tap. This is why we love Riddick. We're technically, the stress is still on, especially for Violet. She's feeling it coming from all different directions. And then we have Riddick, just his priorities, man.
He's just vibing.
His priorities are a little different. But mind you, he hasn't had the experiences that she's had. So he is kind of in his little bubble.
Know.
Yeah, what you don't know, you don't know. And what we know hurts my heart. So,
we will always hype our girl Riri. She is such a girl's girl. She is the best. And as the whole squad's just kind of in this happy little bubble, Rhiannon's very observant. She knows that there's stuff Violet isn't telling her, but she just comes through when they're like, oh, you're going to be spending all that time with Ryerson, right? And Rhiannon's like, oh, yeah, nope, I'm really excited that I can write to my family. This is going to be so great. Just saving the day.
Which I truly is just a happy moment for her too, because as we learned in Fourth Wing, her sister had a baby.
Yeah.
And now at this point, yeah, so just a happy little tidbit in the beginning of our book before shit really hits the fan. But then they do kind of go into it, and I think, Riddick, again, the kind of guy he is he's a tough brute, comedic relief, but in his mind, they only know what they know. So his truth is Griffin Riders.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, jealous that he missed out on all this action, and secretly is like, oh, wow, that's freaking cool. Well, not secretly. He's, can't believe you guys got to do that. What the hell? I missed out. But the stress that they're feeling, and then on top of that, Violet then going back through and having to lie to her friends time and time again, the theme of this book.
I do think it's interesting, though, because when Riddick is talking about that, he says about how, War Games was scary as shit because Ados was stepping in for Ryerson. And I'm we know that Dane is nowhere near the level of Zayden. He'll never, ever compare. But he's trying. And everyone's just yeah, no. And it's such a little glimpse right away into Dane's future as a wing leader, and I kind of think that's hilarious.
Yeah. Yep. Just to be noted,
But, Imogen also just comes through when they're like, okay, well, I mean, maybe you could tell us more about what happened. And Violet's like, oh my God, I have to lie. What do I do? Internally panicking. Imogen's just like, bro, it fucking sucked. Are you kidding me? We don't want to talk about it. It was terrible. Leave it alone.
Sweet Sawyer. I mean, you don't know what you don't know. And he says, I always knew Griffin talents were sharp, but to take down a dragon. And it's just gut wrenching because then as you're reading, and then just in Violet's mind too, is now this mental image of Liam and Day going down. And my heart. But Tarn, sweet baby Tarn, is like, they weren't there. It's natural for them to wonder, and it's in their nature as writers. And I think that's great too. But in Darna.
They should mind their business.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Like, technically this is their business. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
Oh, and Darna. But I mean, as Imogen explains to them, like, just, it was really shitty and we almost didn't make it out alive. Imogen, who is this hard ass, you don't fuck with her, lifts her glass and says to Liam,
you can do it.
I can't. I'm going to cry.
I think it's hard because in the world that they live in, they talk about it. You're not to bring up those that have died once they're commended to Malik. And so I think in this moment, they all kind of are realizing the magnitude of what they're in and what is happening around them, because it now has directly, not that they didn't see death last year, but this was someone that, was in their little inner circle and they lost. And so they do a little cheers to Liam, and it just,
my heart, it hurts.
My heart, it hurts so bad.
It's fine.
We're fine. And then, a few beats later, we have the shimmering shadow of my connection with Zayden. Shimmering shadow. Hot.
Shimmering relic. Shimmering shadow. No.
He's just peeping in.
Yeah, we go from like tearing up, we're like, oh, Liam, to Zayden just staring at her across the room. And he says, whatever is going through that beautiful mind, I'm here for it. And we're like,
okay, stop.
Stop it. You can read everything on me.
I cannot control my face when you're around.
I can barely control my face in general. Are you kidding me? Could you imagine? My emotions are written all over my face a good portion of the time. Could you imagine if I were in this scenario and I'd be like,
I'd like get jealous of people that have RBF because I am the most expressive person. So no, I
both.
I think it depends, but I think I'm just really expressive. Even when I'm like, oh, did they just say that? Like, you could see it on my face. I'm like, oh, they just said that out loud. Like,
you and I have RBF when it comes to like just sitting there listening. If we're like just intense on something, we're just like, yeah. And then we get that resting bitch face going. But when we are responding or we hear something that is like, shocking juicy or whatever, we are
spill
just
the
like,
tea.
Oh shit! The hands are going, the eyebrows are up. Like
me when I was texting you last night about where I was at in the book, I was like, my jaw was on the floor. I was like, oh no! Like I have to text you right now.
Phenomenal part of that book.
I know, thank you. I'm enjoying it. Anywho, back to Iron Flame.
Okay, but we're talking about Zayden. We're talking about not being able to like keep ourselves in check. someone else who apparently can't keep himself in check when Violet's like, I'll be right back. Riddick's like, I certainly hope not, or you'll destroy all my fantasies when it comes to that one. I'm like, damn, Riddick. You got the comedy and you're trying to take our man? Stop.
Chill, bro. I love him. Protect him at all costs.
I swear.
I swear. Yeah, I will lose my ever-loving shit.
Mm-hmm. It's fine. It's fine. Violet in this book irritates the shit out of me. I know we talked about it in the last episode, but just, I get it. She's feeling betrayed. She's definitely not moving on right now, but she is just like so stuck on all of this that she's just kind of a bee. And you're like,
chill,
girlfriend.
Yeah,
to the point that even Garrick is like, you two need to figure your shit out.
She pisses me off. I know, rightfully so. She kind of has that, a little bit of leverage to go back and forth. But ultimately, he was protecting her in the way that he knew how. And that was to keep her in the dark so she didn't get hurt. And if she would have known what she knows now when Dane was sneaky with his hands, shit would be waiting. She would be dead. Xaden would be dead. Like, this book would have ended at book 1. There would be no book 2.
Would have had half a book.
Yeah. So she honestly just needs to shut the fuck up and be like, Xaden, it's okay. We can be in bed and discuss it later. I also think it's funny because she's sitting here, like, her ultimatum to him is, I'm going to withhold sex because you're not telling me the truth. What are we teaching teenagers and young adults?
Michael Scott did it first.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Jan's not giving him a raise, so he says he's going to withhold sex.
Withhold sex.
Yep. You know what? Michael Scott taught us well.
He did. Michael Scott knows all things.
Yeah, the whole,
oops,
I'm not nearly drunk enough to make that lapse in judgment. Like, really?
Yeah.
Lapse in judgment?
Yeah.
That's a little harsh, don't you think? Like, you could just say, I'm not ready for that right now. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Lapse in judgment.
Lapse in judgment. He just cracks me up, though.
Shadow Daddy comes back with his retorts.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He cracks me up because he's just like, well, don't worry about the bed. We'll get back there. The anticipation is good for us.
We've been anticipating this for a year and a half, Xaden.
Confidence is not arrogance. I don't lose the fights I pick, and we're both allowed to have boundaries. You're not the only one who gets to set the rules of this relationship.
Boom. Mic drop. Xaden.
Mic drop.
Go.
Mic drop. I did note, he says, picking a fight for you, there's a difference. And I think that's important. I mean, and then we turn around and have Colonel Crybaby up our buttholes. I cannot with this guy. I could not.
He's terrible.
He's absolutely terrible. As much as we hate Dane, Dane has his dad is 10 times worse. I mean, Dane has his moments, but Jesus Crybaby, Colonel Crybaby, I cannot. And then on top of that, you have a little nasty sidekick now too. Ugh.
He's like a leech.
It doesn't go away. You can't get rid of him.
He's a parasite.
Yes.
Straight parasite.
Embedded into our bodies. And we can't get rid of him.
But you know what? I do think it's funny because we know Xaden's getting ready to leave to his post, and he tells Colonel Crybaby, I'd say I'll be back before you can miss me, But word has it you pissed off General Sorrengail enough to be reassigned to a coastal outpost. Lilith's not fucking around.
Peace out, bitch.
Take your leech with you. I'm curious, though. What I want to know, our excerpt said that he was moved out of an active wing for essentially being cruel. Lilith is making Ados leave because of what he did, but she's accepting our stupid fucking Leechy Varish? Like, no.
Leechy Varish?
Why, Lilith?
You have to trade one evil for another? I don't really know. The logic isn't there for me on this.
The math ain't mathing.
The math ain't mathing. Possibly. And this is like deep dig at Lilith. But knowing that her daughter is now going into Professor Grady's class where they are going to start doing these interrogations and things like that, having someone that knows it really well and does it almost too well to come in and to be the one to be in there. Like,
yeah. I
mean, I have a soft spot for her. But at this point, like, what is the motive? I don't know. I don't know why you would trade one evil for another, but here we are.
Well, even Varish looks at her and realizing that she is, obviously he knew, but like making his realization known that she is Violet. He says, fascinating. I heard you were too fragile to survive a year in the quadrant. Like, what a fucking jab. She's alive. She's bonded the most powerful dragon outside of Coda and a second dragon. Like, bitch, your dragon has one eye.
Thanks to my dragon, so fuck off.
Literally. Where do you think you're coming from with that attitude at me?
Bitch, your dragon has one eye. This is gonna be our dig at Soulless now from now on. You only have one eye. God.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I want to say, because Violet is obviously notorious for, like, her quick comebacks, and she has learned that she has a backbone and she's stronger than she may look. So she does come back. My presence would suggest otherwise. What a dick.
Facts. I can't. He's terrible. But, you know, they give them fucking missives from Melgren himself. They really just, Rebecca's like, oh, I'm going to write this book and just piss off the masses. Here you go. Here's a missive. Cadet Violet Sorrengail is hereby given 2 days of leave once every 14 days to be used only to fly with Tarn directly to and from Segail's current duty station or location. Any other absence from classes will be considered a punishable offense.
I'm sorry, what? I don't think the magnitude at which Tarn and Segail have, like, made it known that it is not up to any humans. So, like, a punishable offense, fuck right off. Like, if my dragon says we go, we go.
Like, your dragons didn't say, maybe that's not a good idea.
Right.
Maybe he'll eat you.
Maybe he'll blow you into tiny little ash embers. Fuck off. And then, literally, to finish this chapter, the shit pisses me off more than anything. Like, I want to rage and throw things and scream at the top of my lungs. Because we have Ados, and he says, you know, I was worried about our earlier conversation until I remembered something. And Xaden asks, and what is that? Secrets make for poor leverage. They die with the people who keep them. Bitch, I will kill you so fast.
I'm like, I know that's a threat, so I don't even want to be like, is that a threat?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I know my smart ass would sit there and be like, Is that a threat?
Yeah. Are you threatening me? Are you threatening me, Colonel Ados? Are you threatening me, a lieutenant? Fuck off.
And a cadet?
And a cadet. Like, she clearly did nothing wrong here, and here you are.
Talk about abuse of power.
Such abuse of power. I mean, first the missive to go to a whole different post where they weren't even supposed to be, and now we're making threats.
Yeah.
I will scream. And that is chapter 5, ending with me raging.
Okay. Minor break. We're fine.
We're fine. This one is really short.
It's 6 and 7 were super, super short, so I bet we could get through both of them before you have to go.
Yeah. Okay.
And Sawyer's crying, so hopefully.
Sienna? That's how we pronounce that, right?
The one that died?
No. The one that gets promoted. Executive officer moved up to being executive officer of the section, which is why Rhiannon gets promoted to squad leader.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I was thinking of, I think it's Sierra or whatever her name is. That.
Yeah. So, Sienna. I say it in my summary, so I didn't want to be wrong.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, ready? I'll lead you into 6.
Yep.
What a way to end chapter 5, but whatever. What's our chapter 6 summary? We got this.
Chapter 6. Colonel Ados tests his limits and threatens Violet, leaving Xaden reeling to get Violet out of there. As soon as their boats hit the courtyard, though, lightning strikes the sky and Violet unleashes her power. Not only is she pissed about Ados threatening her life, she is struggling with the fact Xaden will be leaving soon and they still aren't on the best of terms, despite things currently heating up between them again. Soon, Ree comes to find them and is bringing both good news and bad news. Bad news first, Dane is now their wing leader, but Sienna also got promoted, meaning the good news is that Rhiannon is now squad leader. Yay! Go Ree! She deserved it. She's going to be a good squad 100%. Leader. Dane
it's not some power trip like that.
As wing leader, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Can't wait to get into that.
Don't want to talk about it. Just it's fine.
Don't want to talk about it yet. Yeah, I'm not fine. Nope.
Now, I think our excerpt of this chapter is extremely interesting. What no one openly says is that while all 4 quadrants obey the code of conduct, a writer's first responsibility is to the codex, which often overrules the regulations other quadrants live by. By definition, the writers make their own rules. Major Offender's Guide to the Writer's Quadrant, Unauthorized Edition. It makes sense with what happens, but also dragons make their own rules and writers make their own rules, so maybe the writers should just make their own rules and skedaddle on out of here before the 7 days.
Okay. I like that. This is Montana's Guide to Writerkind. The Unauthorized Edition.
I should write a book. This is my official. I'm writing a book. It's gonna be terrible.
Honestly,
be ready.
I think you could actually write a really good book, but
nope.
I do think you could.
I don't think so.
I think you could. I think you would be really good at it. I think you have
thanks for having faith in me, because I don't.
I do. I think you have the eye for detail, plus you read a lot of fantasy, and maybe you wouldn't write a fantasy book, but world building, I think you would kill it in that aspect.
That's
the
so
magical
nice.
Systems that you could create, I think it would be killer.
You're gonna make me cry. What?
So I'm putting it out there that Montana needs to write a book.
Okay, but that means you have to be on my whole PR team, because
I would definitely run your PR. I could be an arc reader or help you edit. I would totally be here for all the struggle side of it.
Book. What are you talking about?
We could be like, who is it? Oh God, what is their pen name? It's the two women that write. They write romance though. Christina Lauren. Because that's two people.
PC Cast and her daughter write fantasy, like dark novels together.
Mm-hmm. That is so cool.
It's the House of Night series.
Oh, okay. Things that I don't know.
Yep. So, FanTEAsy Books. What? We can't put that on ourselves right now. Maybe.
No. I'm like, we're just getting through this podcast week by week. Writing a book is a whole nother beast, but I do think you would make a killer book. I think it would be awesome, but obviously
I would need your help though.
Let's give that one like the 10 to 15 to 20 year plan.
You're like 50 years old publishing a fantasy book.
I have no issues with that at all.
Can we just go back to being pissed for a second though? Because Colonel Audacity Ados out here, like, what does he say? Be careful who you share your war stories with, Violet. I'd hate to see your mother lose either of her daughters. Like, again with the threats. Sir. Mm-hmm. We're really doing this right now? Like, I'm angry. Okay.
I'm so angry. Pisses me off too, because not only is he bringing Violet into it, like, okay, whatever, make threats to me, but don't fuck with my family.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with my family. Rule number 1, I will cut a bitch.
This sounds like Fast and Furious. We're family.
Okay.
It's called Dom. Like Dom.
I was going to say, okay, Dom, like, chill. Right. Let me handle him real quick. I got it. It's fine. Xaden just backing her up like, okay, let's get you out of here before you combust into a lightning bolt yourself.
Yeah, literally. She's out here just throwing lightning like Zeus. And he's like, well, I guess the alcohol doesn't dampen your signet, but...
Nope.
Good to know.
Good to know. Although you're probably a little more unpredictable since you've had a little bit of that lavender juicy. Chill, Violet. She's
in her lavender haze.
Oh, she is. That was cute and funny.
I'm loving this chapter already. This has been so great.
This is a terrible chapter.
No, our conversation. In this chapter.
Yeah. We're having a great time. This book is not going great, but we're having a great time. Everything is so tangled. I am in a cluster of... There we go. I think I'm content now.
God, and then Violet's like, oh, just forget protecting me, Xaden. Like, everyone needs protection from me. Look at this lightning that I almost just hit a bunch of people with. Like, girl, chill. Mm-hmm. Find your chill, honey. I can't with her. But he has to go so far away.
Yeah, and she's like just so mad about it. And I'm just like...
I'm mad about it.
Well, yeah, but, she's like, is that what you chose? And, because wing leaders do get their choice of duty station. But they hand wrote the orders. So he'll be at Samara. And if it doesn't feel like another Colonel Crybaby tinkering moment,
100%.
I don't know what is.
So far away.
So far. Mm-hmm.
But fun fact. So the missive that was sent to General Melgren about Varish, right? Samara is the outpost that he was at when they asked him to be removed. Mm-hmm. So it's like we're swapping Xaden for Varish.
And I don't want it. I just want to keep Xaden.
Undo that?
Undo it real quick because, ugh. God, I hate Varish. What a name, too. Varish. Varish.
I just feel bad because it's like these dragons are mated and they're very passionate lovers. But they're only going to get a few hours every week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, let's really fuck with these powerful, scary dragons. Really? This doesn't seem like a wise choice.
No. We're picking the wrong battle here when it comes to dragons versus riders, or even dragons versus the government.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Empyrean kind of takes precedence over everything. So I don't know why we're fucking with it.
I know. That was like such a big deal in the first book, and I feel like the humans in this book are really just pushing the limits, and you're like, where do you get off on all of this?
Well, and we have to really remember, like, the series itself is called the Empyrean series.
Literally.
Bitches.
This is dragons.
Bitches. We are talking dragons right now. Rebecca knows what she's talking about, and I don't know what these humans are doing, why they can't get it through their thick fucking skulls, that everything is on the Empyrean. Everything revolves around the Empyrean. These dragons are far superior. They've been around for 600 years. Figure your shit out.
Well, and how they think that they can just do this now when these dragons could literally just decide they don't give two shits about you and scorch you and move on. They're really only using them because of the venom.
Mm-hmm.
We learned this. So why push your boundaries? I don't know. Bitches.
Bitches.
I mean, Xaden gives us a little funny moment. I don't know. I just love his little retorts and his quirks in this section because, Violet's like, I don't hate you as much tonight. And he said, it's the alcohol. Don't worry. You'll despise me again tomorrow.
Their little relationship. Like, okay. I can't.
And they just get so how he's embracing her and telling her all the things out loud and in their minds just to make it look so authentic. And I mean, obviously for him it is, and for her she's like, ew, David, but also not you,
but also keep holding me, keep touching me, keep embracing me with your big strong Satan arms. I love
sexy hands.
The bond. Those damn sexy hands. I love when they communicate through the bond. I feel like it's their most authentic, true communication. And I obviously, we talked about it because I just wish I could do that and here, just read my mind real quick.
I know. Wouldn't that be
But
so
he does
great?
it so beautifully in this moment of just reassuring her and reminding her you're not alone. We'll figure this out together, but keep your guards up.
And it's also something that we have talked about consistently in Fourth Wing and even our last episode of Iron Flame is this is more than the two of them. This is the whole revolution at stake here. This is for the innocent lives. And he says, this isn't about us. Every eye will be on you, and you don't have a rebellion relic to hide your actions from Melgren if you're caught alone. Involving yourself endangers everything we're working for. And it's he's really just trying to reiterate, I'm not doing this out of spite for you. I am doing this for you, but
because
also
I
for
love
everything. You. Yeah.
I know.
It's just so sad. I don't know.
He reminds her, too, you can only fully trust those who are with us at Ressen.
Yeah. Not even the new marked ones coming in. That's so stressful.
Oh, God.
You just want to be known as that bitch who will not associate with anybody other than these other 5 people.
Yeah, Violet probably has good RBF. For sure.
I could imagine, yeah.
And
It
then
does
there's
not
like
match
Rhiannon, like,
Nesta's.
no, not the same vibe.
No, Nesta will have the ultimate RBF always.
Oh God. Ooh, or more.
And Manon.
And
Ooh,
Manon.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, more, I
Anyway,
feel like,
RBF, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Rhiannon's out here.
Sidebar.
I could see Rhiannon having fantastic RBF, like when she tries.
But I could also see her like sitting next to Violet, who's like staring blankly. Like maybe she doesn't have good RBF in the sense she looks intimidating, but she's just blank. And then there's
Yeah, it's
Rhiannon,
bored.
who's like whispering in her ear, like, pss, pss, pss.
Yeah. Like, hey, you good? Or she's like snickering, like,
Yes. Like, look at that. Did you see that? And then there's Riddick in the back.
just laughing, smiling, looking around, like,
At fucking who knows what.
you know,
Like
there's the butterfly.
I was gonna say, like, there's a butterfly. He's like a dog. Squirrel.
Riddick's just out here with his butterfly net, just smiling all big and goofy, like,
Yeah.
swish, swish.
Oh my God. And now I just have like a mental image of SpongeBob. The
That's exactly what I was
jellyfish
thinking with
nets.
these jellyfish nets.
Oh my gosh. That song.
That's Riddick.
I don't know what it is, but now I just have like the beat
Tiptoe
in my
through the
head.
tulips.
No. It's like when it's
I'm
like
hearing it in my head.
the neon.
Oh, with the jellyfish and they're all dancing.
Yes, the jellyfish, and it's like the techno song or whatever. It's so stupid.
Yeah. And they're all like,
Yes.
that's after he catches his butterflies, before he's doing the tiptoe by the window. Okay. I mean, Zayden also gives us a kind of a spicy moment, and I'm so here for it.
He does indeed, because, she's like, well, what are you going to do with all that spare time without having constantly to train me on the mat? Oh, Zayden. I'd much rather have you under me on the mat than spare time.
Oh,
Pin me.
same.
It's just... I'm ready.
Let's go. Arms are up. Oh no, you've seized my wrist again.
Oh no, whatever will I do?
I'm devastated.
I'm devastated. Oh.
We have our Zaddy out here giving us these just like little spicy bedroom moments, and Violet's like, no anticipation, not happening, remember? And you're like, Violet,
Yeah, okay.
shut the fuck up. The most gorgeous man on the continent is like, hey girl, and you're like, no.
Ew, no. Ew, no.
Like, why are you the way that you are?
Why do you not want this? Why do you not want this?
Makes me sad though, like he has to full on walk away and leave her. Like we've been seeing each other every single day for the last 7 days typically, or last 7 days a week I should say, for the last year. And now you have to leave me for a whole week.
For a whole week. And she's just so grumpy. Like, I get it, but...
Yeah, like, don't let him leave on that note.
No. The worst note. The fuck off and leave, Ryerson. That is a horrible
what if
note.
he died?
Literally, and that's the last thing he says to you? You say to him? I can't. I cannot.
Unacceptable. Like...
It's the whole, I would, but you've got a death grip on me. Like, oh shit, that's the lavender juice talking. I forgot. Or is it?
I just want to stay in this lavender haze.
Thank you for that.
Zayden's like, she should stay in the lavender haze.
Yeah, she definitely should.
She loves me there. But he leaves. Rhiannon comes up like, oh, it's going to be fine. He'll be back. No big deal. Just being a good friend. And drops the bomb. Ados is our new wing leader.
I can't. Should have expected that. Like, one, because
I know, we knew.
Chain of command, but two, what worse replacement could we possibly find for Xaden other than Dane? Like, it has to be.
He's terrible. He's just terrible.
He's so terrible. And then the slight good news, like, there's some good news here.
This is phenomenal news.
Rhiannon is our new squad leader, rightfully fucking so. She deserves that title. So proud of her. The are we celebrating from Sawyer and then Riddick's? Absolutely. I'm like, yes. He's so cute.
Squad leader Matthias.
It's the cutest ever.
Get it.
Absolutely. Like, yes.
God, but her first decree as squad leader, live. You know what, girl? We're trying. We're struggling.
We are surviving and not thriving, okay? We are living.
Lemon zesty.
Living, it's not giving.
We are not living, laughing, and loving.
Oh, God, no. Eat, pray, love.
This is Eat, Pray, Live.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. 2010's called, and they need their live home decor back.
Every basic white girl.
Live, laugh, love.
The amount of live, laugh, love, and infinity tattoos.
Oh, gosh. I really can't talk. I have an anchor tattoo from the 10s era, and I can't. I outed myself.
Tattoo, it's fine.
I outed myself on the podcast. It is fine. You know what?
It's fine.
We all have
a basic white girl tattoo.
Well, at least I don't have a tramp stamp, so... Not that Montana has one. Just let me put that out there.
I was gonna say, I don't have a tramp stamp. My
I'm just saying, like...
literally says believe.
Yes, I'm just saying, at least I don't have that, because, ew, gross. Oh, funny. Yeah. And now we're going into Chapter 7 on that note.
Okay, Callie, hit me with the Chapter 7 summary.
Chapter 7 summary. Rider's survival course, or in other words, the rider's own version of a torture chamber. The riders will be prepared and tested on their wits and navigation and skills for survival, as well as how long they can withstand interrogation, meaning torture. Violet swallows the lump in her throat, knowing she has a lot to lose. If she can't handle the torture, they press onto her. After orientation, Violet makes her way to the archives to visit Jasenia and start gathering her own information to help in the revolution. It's a short and sweet chapter.
It is. But I mean,
short
also,
and brutal chapter.
Sounds terrifying.
Yeah. Not really that sweet. I don't think I would actually... Can I, like... test out of that class?
It's like in The Office when they're talking about self-defense and they're like, oh, like you could teach us, and Angela's like, I have a rape flute, I'm okay. It just like walks away.
I'm okay. Yes. Like, I don't think that is really what we're getting at here, but okay.
I have a separated from my dragon flute, I am okay.
I have a saddle and I'm strapped to my dragon, so I am okay. As she, like, unbuckled herself in fourth wing and is standing on the back of Tarn. Like, this is not how we survive. I know.
You know, the part of this with Jasenia later, I love that it ties into the excerpt so well. Our excerpt says, all tome requests at the archives of Basquiat must be recorded and filed. Any cadet who fails to do so will be reported for dereliction of duty, as well as punished for the loss of any text they failed to accurately track. Colonel Daxton's Guide to Excelling in the Scribe Quadrant. It's like, yeah, I get it. It's like a library. You check out your books, you take care of your books, they know who they go to. But this is also like their entire history and everything important in their world. So I don't know, maybe it's just so casual, like, oh, we just loan these books out, no big deal.
I think it's also funny, just the last, like, because we're pulling these, from different texts, obviously. So this one, Colonel Daxton's Guide to Excelling in the Scribe Quadrant. Like, why is Major Offendra's guide? We're not excelling, we're not surviving, it's the guide to the Writer's Quadrant. They are excelling in the Scribe Quadrant. The difference between the two quadrants, yes.
And how they're ran, yeah. I mean, outside of the excerpt, our chapter starts in RSC, and I think it's so funny that Riddick and Nadine are like, I've never been in this room before. I don't know what this is. They're like, yeah, we didn't have this class last year. Yeah, that's kind of the point.
Duh, no shit.
It's just so funny. But we do have that little foreshadow tidbit.
Super foreshadow.
Moment. Do you want to tell me?
So Rhiannon gets hurt. And so they're asking her, well, oh, no, Nadine gets hurt. Sorry.
Yeah, Nadine gets hurt.
Yeah, Nadine gets hurt. And Rhiannon is asking her, what's happening? And she's like, well, I just got hurt. But the healers think, Nolan might have an opening. He's been run ragged since War Games. Why is he run ragged since War Games? What has he been doing? I mean, in first reading, obviously, like, you just read it as, well, yeah, War Games was fucking tough. There's a lot of injuries. There's probably a lot of people that need help.
Yeah.
But later on, we learn that that's maybe not so true. And I hate that it's, like, hinted so very early on. And you just would have never known.
But it's crazy, as they're in RSC, we have Professor Grady, and he's like, oh, yep, I'm still used to being called Captain. Hold, please. Sorry. But he makes note that the class size of this group of second years is the smallest class to walk the halls since the first 6.
Crazy.
Numbers are just dwindling.
Crazy.
And that was like 600 years ago.
Yep.
It's crazy.
They're dwindling quickly. And then, Violet's worried too. And she, reaches out to Tarn and she says, fewer dragons are bonding. Is that because the Empyrean knows about the venom? He said yes. She said, but we need more writers, not fewer. It doesn't make sense. He says, the Empyrean remains divided on whether or not we should get involved. Humans aren't the only ones keeping secrets.
Obviously.
Dun, dun, dun.
But I love that when he initially responds to her question, it says he responds with an exasperated sigh.
Yeah, he's just so annoyed with her. Yes.
Yes, Violet. God.
Obviously. Yes. Get it right.
He cracks me up, but
he does crack me up.
It's just crazy to think, like, this world, we have such a very high threat, and we're getting less and less people willing to fight against it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously less people know the truth, but also I'm just like, everyone
and fewer
dying.
dragons willing to kind of deal with it too. Willing to,
like, on all fronts.
Yeah, on all sides. And then RSC. I think this is where I would, like, Catch Me Outside, because I know it's the whole interrogation.
Yeah.
I've watched one too many war movies to know that I would crumble so quickly. Nope. I don't want to be waterboarded. I don't want to be having my nails ripped off. Like, I'm good. I'm good.
You just pray for death at that point.
Yeah. Nope. I don't want to be
bad.
any part of it. The navigation, like, I think I could handle. It would be tough, but like, give me a compass. I'll figure it out eventually. As long as a bear doesn't come along or a dragon, then I'm good.
I mean, this is get back to, do you pick the bear or the man? And I mean, maybe we pick the dragon, because then we could be dragon riders.
Right.
I'm not Russian.
Well,
I don't have a natural instinct to ride a bear.
No, and in this case is the man or Venom. And then at that point, run the fuck another way.
Go to the dragon.
Unless you're Montana, who apparently wants.
I don't know. I do not. I said kill the venom. We are killing the venom still.
Are we still okay? So wait, what was it originally? It was Dane, Jack, and Venom. I think were the three options I gave you for FM kill.
I still hate this game.
I think it is the funniest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. I really like. I mean, you have to marry Dane.
Yeah, but I mean,
and then Jack, you're pretty much screwed either way.
And Wanda. Yeah.
Kill them all.
I mean, yeah. I'm saying Marianne and Wanda. Let's go.
Yep. Thelma and Louise. And then after that, we just right off of a cliff. This is so off topic. Yeah. Those really cinematic scenes where you're like running and then you jump off the cliff and everyone thinks you're dead. And then here comes you on your dragon and you're like, yeah. Those stress me out, by the way.
Oh, well, be prepared to be stressed.
Yeah, it gets worse. This gets so much worse.
I don't know. RSC would be a struggle for me for sure, but and the fact that it's just such a big secret to them. Like you don't find out until your second year.
Yeah. And none of the second years bring it up either. But like, so then you're thinking too, Imogen, Bodhi, like these are people that were dealing with this last year.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, shit. Like, you poor people.
And
they're
it's
tough.
How well the secret
they're
has
tough
been
as nails
too.
Yes.
That's what gets me. It has not ever come out. So
no.
Because, you know, a lot of times it's like you hear rumors and then they're like, oh no, it's just like a prank that someone made up 100 years ago and it's like a joke now. And then you find out that it's real. Like this is literally not ever talked about. This isn't hallway gossip.
Nope.
So what do they do to make sure they don't say anything?
Threaten them with their lives.
It's terrifying.
For 20-year-olds, yeah. But also, you know, it also comes back to, you know, they are preparing them for war scenarios, and this does happen in war. So they're, trying to just.
I mean, they literally
it totally makes sense. So they're just trying to prepare them, but it's the other secrets that I can't. Like we're sitting here telling you one thing when really it's another, and then really it's a whole different thing. Yeah. It's fucking mind-blowing.
It is.
If it's not eerily accurate.
I know, literally.
But
I mean,
I think
after RSC,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, because the really eerie thing is, they're asking questions and kind of like, what do we expect? And he's like, we're not going to tell you when or what's going to happen. Just don't break. And Rhiannon so carefully asks, and if we break? And Professor Grady, completely stone-faced, just says, don't. Yeah, literally. Okay. Okay, great. Chills.
After we have RSC, Violet just takes a little skip and hop over the pond to the archives over here, and she is just determined. Xaden has told her, do not help. Do your own thing. Stay out of the way, essentially, because I can't have you getting caught. And she's like, ha 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 ha. They may not have a scribe in the revolution, but they have me.
And I'm basically a scribe / writer.
Like,
the brains
like,
of a scribe.
Hannah Montana, bitch.
Yeah, she's the brain of a scribe, the heart of a writer. And she is. She is her own little Hannah Montana self.
But with the archives, also gives us more time with our bestie, Jacinia, and we love her.
Yeah, we do. We really do. I think it's just fun because Violet gets to go in there and kind of pretend that this is her safe space. Well, it is her safe space, but she kind of gets to pretend like, oh, this is where I am. She notes simple, quiet, noble, and polar opposite of what she actually deals with day to day. So it's just fun. But always love when we get to go to the archives to see Jacinia. She just flat out lies again, withholds so much truth. Like this is not even withholding truth. She's flat out lying. She pulled that shit out of her ass. She's like, oh, I'm researching this. Bitch, no, you're not. But yeah, rightfully so. Don't tell Jacinia what's happening.
But Jacinia says, I heard about, I'm sorry. He was always really nice to me. And I'm like, yeah, you had your own special relationship with Liam during their library duty. And she got that interaction, and he was like, yeah, like signing with her and whatnot. And everyone is like so respectful about his death.
Yeah, we always know a heartfelt Liam moment because we miss him already. I've missed him since that first fateful day I bawled my eyes out over his death. It was the worst. Oh my gosh. Like, first read.
So terrible.
Oh my God, I cried so freaking hard. Okay. I
can't. That's just okay. Yep. Yeah, she flat out lies to Jacinia about why she needs these texts, and she's like, oh, yeah, sure. And she comes back a few minutes later. She's like, here's 2 books. Good luck. Have fun.
Good luck. The fact that oh, sorry. Yeah, pretty much. The fact that Violet is like, in a way, still kind of naive and believing that there are answers in the archives is kind of what blows my mind in this part, because we know for a fucking fact that shit has been wiped clean. They don't want any trace of any kind of venom or anything, even though we know it's true. But she's trying. She's trying. Sweet Jacinia, thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl, for getting us some books to, I don't know, try a little bit.
A for effort for Violet. A ++ for Jacinia, always.
And a gold star.
Because we love her.
Just because we like her. What? It's true.
This book right here. That book. The girl likes to give out gold stars for people just because she thinks like that's, like happy and exciting. She's like, oh, you look so nice. Gold star. So this girl is her best friend, and she's like, oh, your tits look great. Gold star tits. Puts gold star.
Oh my God.
So gold stars have a whole new meaning for me now.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
Yep. That's chapter 7.
Mm-hmm. And chapter 8 is some shit goes down. Some shit goes down. Okay, I don't think you're ready. I actually have a long summary for this one. So there's so much happening. Chapter 8. Conscription Day is here, and although the second years feel at ease on this side of things, they are still struggling with what this day means, with warnings from Imogen to not get attached to anyone until after threshing. The crew takes their posts as the new candidates climb the tower to cross the parapet. Violet, Rhiannon, and Dane are all the way at the top as they make their way to give them their names. Although most faces are unknown to them, Violet encounters 2 candidates with unmistakable features. One being Cam, or as he is now known, Arik Greycastle, King Tari's son, and a sweet female clone of her older brother, Sloane Mari, Liam's little sister. Violet tries to help Sloane before she crosses the parapet, but Sloane lets it be known how much hate she has for Violet despite taking her advice. Once across the parapet, the cadets and riders make their way into the courtyard to receive their new squad orders. With the new administration also means new dragons, and in this case, it means an aggressive and ruthless orange daggertail, Solus. When some of the candidates turn and run for safety, Solus is quick to blast not only the runners, but half of the squad still standing in formation.
Fucking one-eyed bitch.
Dragon only has one eye. I can't. But Tarn coming to save the day is everything. He makes this chapter
literally
better. And that is why Tarn Talk is a thing. Tarn Talk. But this excerpt, I need you to give it to me because this one cuts deep.
It is one thing to cross the parapet your first year, but watching countless candidates lose their life to it feels a little like dying too. Don't watch if you can help it. Page 84, the Book of Brennan. It really puts it into perspective where they're at as a second year now.
Mm-hmm.
This whole chapter.
Yeah. They're kind of feeling a little bit of relief, but then going into actually being up there, watching these candidates, they're like, well, shit, think about how nervous we were. And just because we're standing here, we're still not in safety. And now we have to watch every single one of these people struggle across this parapet.
Yeah.
Terrifying. And then having another fucking Jack Jr. up there. My blood is boiling. Boiling at these people. Animals. Sadistic animals.
And Dylan from Fourth Wing, there was other versions of Dylan trying to cross.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready for this. Again, Rebecca.
No.
And we just can Tarn just fly in with his morning star tail and just poof, the parapet?
With no one on it, but yes. I think my favorite part in the beginning of this. Yes, just destroy that thing, be done with it. My favorite part is because, so we're envisioning, Violet is up there with Dane.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is my first tab in this chapter.
This is easily my first tab in this chapter. I lock my shields in place, just like Xaden taught me, and fantasize about shoving Dane off the tower. Bye, bitch.
Toodaloo, kangaroo.
I don't know what movie that's from, but he's trying to make that noise. It's so funny, in the cartoons.
Yep, nope, that's exactly where he's going. He's going down. We're yelling timber.
Oh my god.
You know what, though? It's terrifying, and there's so much going on. Now you're having to pretend that you've got it all together. You're not worried about the lives of those you're about to watch cross. And it's funny that out of all the jobs you could have for Parapet, she and Rhiannon have the same job that Xaden and Garrick had.
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
year prior. But even we've got like Nadine hanging out, and she's like, "Oh, you thought your mom would have held off the storm last year, considering you were crossing." And she's like, "You don't know my mother.
Funny. Funny.
Like she would not actually do that to save my life." But okay,
She
that's a
wouldn't
knee
actually
slapper.
help me. Oops. She wouldn't actually help me if I really, really needed it. She just isn't adding fuel to the fire. She's not helping, but she's not making it worse.
She's just existing, Lilith.
The shit that pisses me off is fucking Dane. Only 91 dragons have agreed to bond this year. Okay, great.
Like, okay.
Standing here, fucking acting as if he has any place to be up here, any place to be a wing leader, considering what he has done.
Mm-hmm.
And she is literally like, you did this. Remember that. You did this. You put Liam and Solway in the ground, commend their souls to Malik. That's on your hands. Shit fucking pissed me off right out of the gates. I hate this chapter because we have so much Dane.
But honestly, that's another reason I love this chapter, because Dane gets his ass handed to him verbally every single time.
True.
It brings me so much life. Like, if I'm gonna have Dane, I want this version.
Well, immediately she comes back with more candidates making it across isn't going to equal more writers.
Yeah.
He glances my way, but quickly averts his gaze. Fuck you, Dane. Fuck
As you
you.
should.
Don't even look at me. Ugh.
Dane can't even look at her, but Xaden has given Violet 3 books on the craft of weaving fabric into traditional Tyrish knots. Because she's like, yeah, I totally need a hobby. And left a note that just sends all the girls squealing. Ugh. I meant what I said on the parapet. Even when I'm not with you, there's only you.
Thank you, Zaddy.
Thank you. Come again. Please tell me over and over. That reassurance.
And then to think a year ago, like how fleeting this time was, because a year ago they were standing eye to eye and she thought he was going to just push her off of there. And now she's sitting here daydreaming about pushing Dane off. I love this full circle moment for us.
This is great.
I know.
How Dane decides to speak to Rhiannon. Like, bitch, you deserve to be pushed off for what you say to her.
I love her. He does. He tries to tell her off, and she says, and if you think about telling me to call you wing leader, I'll remind you that Ryerson did a hell of a job without needing everyone to supplicate themselves to him. Bitch, tell him.
What? You know what? I can't. And Dane's like talking to Rhiannon and Violet still. Even after that, I'm like, really? You think you'd have walked away? But okay.
No.
So Rhiannon asks, like, well, tell me what you know about Varish. And he's like, oh, I don't know. He's friends with my dad. Like, well, great. Your dad's a piece of shit.
Colonel Crybaby.
Like calls to like.
Oh, God.
Your favorite.
Cauldron, boil me. Oh, my God.
I can't. But, you know, Violet's noting they all look so young. This is wide-eyed and innocent.
They are.
Tarn's like, well, I mean, you looked young too. This was only a year ago. A lot has changed in a year, but I mean, he's just pissed because, you know, his mate was taken from him and he now has regulations on when he can see her and make dragon love.
Make dragon love. There's so many moments. And just sad, hearing the screams of the first cadet drop. She decides, to not watch anymore, rightfully fucking so. And then we go into the aggressive ones, that just toss the scrawny red-haired candidate struggling at the midway point without hesitation. If that is not Jack fucking Barlow energy.
Disgusting.
Ugh. It's disgusting. Oh, there it is. Jack Barlow Jr. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting. Disgusting. And then we come to our next candidate, Cam, who is a fun little friend to see.
Sup, bro?
Sup? What you doing here? He's like, it's Arik now? Bitch, no, it's not.
Also, Grey Castle. What kind of last name?
They're like teasing him about his name too. They're like, Grey Castle? Real nice.
He's
Did you make that up?
I looked up at a Grey Castle.
It's the first thing I saw. I know.
What the fuck is going on? Grey Castle? Arik, you ran from home. You didn't tell your daddy you were joining. That's a little scary because you are the king's son. Like, what?
Well, and then, to note that the older brother died during threshing 3 years prior. Like,
Yeah.
King Tari does not fucking want you there. You don't have to be there. He doesn't want you there. And this bitch is like, I'm 20. I can do what I want. I'm going to be a fucking writer. Okay, great. Maybe. Probably not.
Checks out for a 20-year-old.
Yeah. 1, rebelling against your parents. 2, male brute, just wants to be the tough guy. It all checks out.
Yeah, I don't know. It checks out. And we even get Sloane. Like, Sloane, we knew you were coming. We've been so excited for you. You came with your hair down. What are you doing?
She came unfucking prepared. And then on top of that, you see her name. You're so excited because Liam, this is Liam's sister. We're so thrilled to finally meet you and have you in our, Violet probably in this moment just wants to literally bear hug this girl, but because of her position can't. So she's just patiently waiting. Hey, let me help you. And then it clicks. Light bulb moment of who the fuck Violet is. And it just breaks my heart. Oh my gosh. It hurt.
Well,
that one hurt.
And it says earlier in this chapter that Violet knows she's not allowed to offer any help or any advice, but she goes completely against that when it comes to Sloane. She is like, put your arms out, doing everything that Mira told her. And I mean, really taking on that role like she promised Liam, as much as Sloane doesn't want it.
And then we have douchebag Dane, who's like, shut up, Dane. You have no part in this. You are the reason that Liam is gone. So you will shut the fuck up and sit down. And I'm going to help her. Chill, bro. It's not your turn to speak.
Even before we got Sloane with Arik, we had another Dane moment where Violet's like, we are 2nd Squad, Flame Section 4th Wing. And Dane's like trying to tell her to stop. And she's like, yeah, not today. And he just has, like, everyone is putting him in his place. And I so love that and appreciate that.
Mad respect for her.
I mean, yeah, Violet snaps at Dane when he's trying to say that she can't help, and she says, don't you dare say another word or I'll blast you off this turret, Ados. Oh, shit.
I wish she would.
Boom. Please do. Yes.
I wish a bitch would.
I know, literally. But the fact that Sloane hates her and blames her, how devastating.
You got my brother killed. He died for you. Well, there's a lot more to that story, Sloane, but I can't tell you right now.
Yeah, she's like, I know the truth. I know what happened. You're like, but baby, do you?
But baby, you don't.
Like, girlfriend, chill out.
Hurts my heart. And I mean, her side of things, the closest person would have been Violet to him in that when that happened. So yeah, if you're gonna place blame, like that's where I would place it too. Like obviously she's not gonna turn on Zayden, who is another marked one, and be like, it's Zayden's fault. Like the marked ones are gonna stick together in this case, and like sucks for Violet, but that's the truth.
She's the general's daughter.
Exactly.
Like, that's just kind of the obvious person to look at this rate.
Yep.
But before we move on of them finishing Parapet, I want to go back a couple pages. We're talking about Jack Barlow Jr., and it was really interesting because Violet is thinking to herself about Jack and last year, how he put her in the infirmary and he damn near tried to kill her multiple times. And it says, I shiver at the memory of the way he forced pure energy into me throughout his hands that day on the mat. We just have so much sprinkled that we didn't see the first time. And it's just, Rebecca is phenomenal with these little foreshadow pieces, and it's great.
It gives me chills. It gives me chills. I've never been afraid of a fictional character, but I'm terrified of Jack Barlow.
Literally.
Fucking Jack Barlow.
Yeah, no, he got zapped off that cliff real fast. Or did he?
Or did he?
I do love that theory that we all had that Jack was not dead when coming into this book.
Yeah.
I mean, you know. But we finished Parapet. 71 people fell off. 71. Just we're like, okay, I'm going to cross this little bridge. Just kidding. I died.
God. It's like, just kidding. I lost my pencil. Like, so, nope, just kidding. I died. No.
Nonchalant.
So nonchalant. Just kidding. I died. What?
I can't.
Imogen with her wise words. She is a woman after my heart. She says, because they're like, is this fucking weird? Riddick is asking. And Nadine is kind of, she says, I want to tell them that it's going to be okay. And Imogen is like, well, it's not polite to lie. Don't lie. Don't get attached. They're all dragon fodder until threshing. I get
it, because truly, imagine how much your heart would break if you were besties with everyone on the first day.
Well, I'm not that much of a people person, so that wouldn't happen for me. But I get what she's saying. And in this, we have so much shit happening. Oh, I just looked down and my book says shit. Yeah. The book says shit. Shit. How the hell am I supposed to help her in an entirely different wing? Oh, I forgot. Yeah. Sloane. This bitch.
Yeah, Sloane gets put into what, first wing? Yeah, first wing. And you know what, Dane, thank you, but fuck you. He, goes up there, chats with the wing leaders, does a little dance, and he's like, all right, bye, I got you. Sloane's now in fourth wing. Like, thanks, I guess. You did one thing right.
It's so annoying. The reproachful stare from Vice Commandant Barish. Fuck you, you ugly sow. Don't even look at me. I hate that guy.
I thought you called him an ugly cow.
I said sow, which is a pig.
I heard cow. So I was like, oh.
No, I like cows.
like
No, I
both
like
too,
cows.
but you know what? I feel like these are fantastic insults. Either way, pig or cow.
These are
He's lower than
fantastic
that.
insults. I know.
Fucking
I don't
Lee.
know. It just came out of my mouth. I don't know. I just really hate
I
him.
loved
That's
it. I
all.
loved every second of it. But Stallone, she's fighting this. She's like, absolutely not. I will be in any squad but this one. I am not going near her. And Rhiannon, whoo, girl. She's like, does it look like I give a shit? I'm like, oh, preach it to the choir.
Rhiannon really, she just fills the role of squad leader so well. She is like the person that you want to go to because you trust her, but then also the person that follows the rules and is going to like stick it to you in a respectful way, not in a degrading
100%.
Dane way. She is
Dane,
perfect for squad
Dane.
leader. Yes.
Yeah.
She is not like that. She's just like, bitch, does it look like I give a shit? Get the fuck over there.
And the fact that we learned that Sawyer is now the executive officer. Like, go
we love
off.
Him.
I love this little
I know.
leadership group that we're forming.
Mm-hmm. And then there's Violet, who somehow doesn't have any rules, but she has the biggest role of all.
Shadow Daddy Tamer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which I'm okay with that. But yeah, Sloane's just giving them a hard time, and it takes Imogen stepping in. She says, stop disrespecting your squad leader and get in formation, Sloane. You're acting like a spoiled aristocrat. Like, that is really what just like, that is what gets her. She's like, oh shit, like, Imogen, I know you're a marked one. Okay. Makes me sad.
Mm-hmm. Rhiannon, these are the ones that hurt because now she's reaching out to Violet of, that girl wants you dead, which we were in this position last year with a certain shadow daddy wanting you dead, but now we have the upper hand. Should I move her to a different formation? And she's like, no, like, it's fine. Because she blames me for Liam's death, like, she has every right to be pissed off, but don't move her because this is the only way I can protect her.
And you know what? For being a selective truth, that's very truthful because that is exactly what Salone is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And she did promise that to Liam. So it is the truth. It's just not, let me fall and tell you how Liam died.
Oh, God. We will get to that. Jesus shit. We don't need to go into details again. My heart can't handle it yet.
No, I will never be emotionally ready to relive that.
Mm-mm. I think it's funny too because, you know, Rhiannon is kind of over here like laughing about Arik and now Sloane. And she says, you're collecting strays. But then she says, you know, we were strays once too. And she's like, now look at us, alive and everything, which, yeah, barely surviving, like not thriving. We've been down this road. But she goes on, Violet, you know, is thinking, I've danced with Malik more than my fair share over this last year and told him to fuck right off every single time. Maybe Sloane is right and he doesn't want me.
You know what? With how you act in this book, I don't want you either.
Right. It's just funny.
Send her back.
It's funny. I'm fine.
And it's
We're
also
all
funny
fine.
that it says that, you know, they're getting ready. The ceremony's finally starting and they're getting ready. And Dane takes the lead, clearly trying to step into Xaden's boots, but he's no Xaden.
No. Nope. Try again. He's no
And this is
Xaden.
also where we get our first glimpse of a one-eyed orange dagger tail.
Your dragon only has one eye.
Your dragon only has one eye, bitch. And you know what? We have learned that Solus is this dragon's name, and he belongs to Major Varish, and they're both little bitches.
Major vengeance. Major vomit.
I hate him. Yeah,
I do hate him, and I hate his dragon equally. Is almost more. I don't know. It's a fine line between those two. The fact that Tarn hates him speaks volumes. Speaks volumes. So we get a little peek at him as they're, landing behind the courtyard on the dais, and oh my god. Sloane is...
we got people puking. We've got people ready to run.
Trembling in their boots. Sloane is wobbling, trying to decide if she's gonna run. And fucking Violet is just like, don't move and you'll be fine. They'll torch you if you run. If we remember anything from last year, like, dragons have no patience for fear, if you want to call it.
Weakness.
Cowardice. They have no patience whatsoever. Oh my god, it's just terrible.
It's just, no. The fact that Tarn tells her, do not take your eyes off of him. Well, yeah, you got 2 eyes to keep on him. He's only got 1. Such a fantastic piece of advice for this whole moment, though, because, Solus is a cranky bee.
Solus is a fucking bitch dragon. I want to say a bitch dog, but it's like a big dog, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
but friends, we have a lot of theories for Onyx Storm.
We do.
Callie and I have extensively discussed this theory, and now seeing it actually pop up organically in our reading. It's very, very interesting. Callie, please tell me what it is.
Dane really needs to check Kath's teeth because there has to be a bone stuck in there, decaying or something. But as we know, Rebecca loves her italices, and something is in italics, and something leads us to believe that something they've noted about venom and, nasty creatures is that they have really bad breath. And so something is rotting inside of Kath, much like Dane, I'm sure. And there's something in there. And I need to know more. Fucking Onyx Storm. Is this book out yet?
There's so weird that it's like, oh, okay, he's got nasty breath. But now we're like, Rebecca, what does this mean?
What's that nasty breath mean? I know. And it's really just such a weird, not out of place, because, she's telling us that Kath is also here and whatever, but putting that bit in, you're not saying things at this point just for no reason. And so every little bit and piece, that means something, and that, oh my god, I just need to know. And then we're still talking, size and comparison. Tarn is still the biggest dragon, just pure terrifying menace of a dragon. The fact that he's not there also, again, he's like, I don't need to be. It's fine. They don't need to be intimidated by me, even though she knows, they would all be shitting their pants. Literally. But Tarn is still out here, eyes on Solus. I'm not there yet. Eyes on Solus. I don't fucking trust that guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because now we have a couple of runners who think that they're going to make it, and Solus is just fucking with them, haha, give you a glimpse of hope before I fucking scorch you. But not just you.
Worst.
I'm going to scorch everyone in this path if they don't fucking get down right now, just because I want to be a bitch. I'm a terrible dragon. My rider is a terrible person. Let's cause some chaos. Let's fuck some shit up.
And then I think it's so hard. going back to the fear of these dragons, not putting up with any kind of fear. So now you have the people that are in formation, and these are executive officers. These are squad leaders. They're standing perfectly in formation to not show any weakness. So they don't get down. And now they're
being taken out.
And they're just scorched into nothing. And it's complete and utter chaos as Tarn is like racing to get there because Solus is a fucking whack job. Cage that bitch up. Oh my gosh.
It's really the fact that one of their friends, one of Imogen's friends, Sieran, she didn't get down because, like you said, you don't show weakness, and now she's gone. And they're
Terrifying.
like, was this intentional? Because now we are taking out bonded writers.
Bonded writers. Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck said that was okay?
Yep. This whole bit gave me so much anxiety of, we're going back to not trusting any of the administration and the government.
Yep.
They are bringing in Varish and this fucking one-eyed, one-horse, flying purple people eater. It's fucking bullshit. One-eye, one-horse, fly. I'm just pissed. I'm pissed. I can't, because to fail to see the correlation directly in this moment for administration, because you still have, Commandant Panchek's out there, Colonel Ados is out there, I believe Melgren's out there, and they're all just watching this happen, and it is never a Varish control your dragon or any other dragons standing up to Solus either until Tarn gets there. What the fuck?
I mean, Kath does try, but Solus just doesn't give a shit. He's like, yeah, that fucking right.
Yeah.
We don't respect Kath. We don't respect Dane. But Tarn comes in, and he is demanding. He is pissed. You do not have the right to burn what is mine. He is threatening. He is ready to throw everyone off the parapet himself and bite Solus in half. And I'm here for it. I am here for pissed off Tarn.
I can't with this one eye. It says the wing leader's dragons take a step to the side of the wall as the roar ends, away from the orange dagger tail, but Solus stands firm, his eye narrowing to a golden slit. It's just one eye.
He's like, hold on. I need to move my head so I can see on that side.
Yeah.
You are my bad side.
It's like the crab from Moana. He's like, no, this eye. Look at my other eye.
Pick an eye. Pick an eye,
but I only have this one. Pick an eye.
It's like, can you get on my right? I can't see on my left.
There's a blind spot over there.
You know what, though? Tarn threatens him, and I love it. He says, if Solus ever comes near you again, he knows I will devour his human whole and let him rot within me. Also, rotting inside. Okay. While his heart still beats, and then I'll take the eye I so graciously left him. Well, why did you leave him an eye?
Yeah, this freaking no-eye monster could have done nothing if he
job.
Yeah. I think the little bit too right before that of Tarn, not only did he put Solus in his place, he also, it says, he turns his attention to the dais and exhales a sulfur-laced gust of steam, blowing Varish's thick black hair. And I think it's hilarious, fuck you, Solus, fuck you, Varish. This is directly at you psycho people.
This is my human.
This is my human.
I will literally kill you. Leave my human and my other humans alone. My humans.
My humans. Yeah.
Nope. They're fucking terrible. But it's the fact that they just kind of move on. They're like, well, where were we? And Varish is glaring at Violet, and she's just like, yep, nope. That is hatred. I don't even know this man, and he is now my enemy.
Mm-hmm. That quick. And if I didn't know that the second I read his name.
Yeah, literally.
Violet, glad you caught up to the party because we were already there.
We read that 30 pages ago, Vi. Come on.
Don't you know this? You're in the book. You should know this. Yeah, there was some good little, lot of foreshadowing in that one, and also some things to keep our eyes open for going into Onyx Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have to definitely look up some more theories and things on some of those, but I am excited for all the things to come. I mean, I'm not. This book, the anxiety that this book gives me.
Yes.
I'm not ready to be tortured yet.
Literally? Literally, I am not ready for those hallucinations.
No. Yeah. No, I'm not either.
Uh-huh.
I'm mentally unstable.
So before we forget, like we did last time, we have a quick Dragon Ball T.
Dragon Ball T.
Just to recap, from the dragons that we have seen thus far, we do have Tarn and Andarna, who are Violet's dragons, Tarn being Thunder, and Darna being the second honor. We have Sigale, obviously Zayden's dragon, who is Shadow. We have Marv, who is Brennan's dragon. He's an orange dagger tail, and the Scottish Gaelic translation for his name is Dead. So it's like,
I hate it.
Is it because he was dead, or is Brennan actually going to die? I could see that being a real possibility.
No, I'm going with the first one that we're just going off of. He was dead. That's where I'm going with that one. Let's not kill Brennan.
My
I like
only
him.
reasoning for thinking it's farther than that is because we didn't know anything about his dragon until after we knew he was alive. So that's fun. But, and then we have Solus, and these literally mean nothing. Light and comfort for this bitch-ass one-eyed dragon and his horrible rider? No. I'm curious. I mean, I'm just curious what happens and why Solus has that name. Because there's got to be more to it then.
There definitely has to be more to it. Light, and then the sense that he gets lit up by Violet's lightning.
I mean, that's not a bad. That's not a
light
bad
that bitch
there,
up.
actually. I kind of like that.
Light that bitch up. That's my theory. I'm gonna stick with that one because comfort, light, and I think brightness would be encompassed in that. And I know Solus is the exact opposite of that. Darkness, evil, one-eyed, one-horn, ugly-ass, orange dagger tail. Which, interestingly enough, too, you're talking about orange dagger tails. So, Brennan's dragon, Solus, and then we have Jack Barlow. Why?
This is weird.
Ugh, I don't like where my brain is going now.
Nope. That was a fantastic thing to point out. No.
We don't want to go down theory rabbit holes.
It's fine.
I know. Okay. We can't have two bad guys and one good guy with the same kind of dragon. It's just not adding up. But I will say, maybe in Brennan's defense, because he is just such a strong writer and he's fighting the good fight, maybe that's why he has a more short-tempered and ruthless dragon. I don't know. My heart kind of hurts on thinking about that one a little bit, especially after you said dead.
I need to move on.
God.
I know. I need to move on because I have very little hope now for Brennan.
Yeah. That ship kind of just went out the fucking window.
Yep.
You. So now,
that's the end of Dragon Ball T.
That's the end of Dragon Ball T. Well, the interesting thing to think about that too is that an Onyx Storm issue? Probably not. There's still 2 more books. So how long do we have to suffer until Brennan's untimely death? Sorry.
Book 4 to 5.
I don't know.
4 to 5.
It'll probably be in the last one, and my heart will be ripped out when they're all dead. I don't know. He came back from the dead, and then they all die.
5,
oh, I'm so stressed.
If it is not book 5, it's going to be book 4 because it's going to be like a serious black moment. Like we're reconnecting, things are going great.
Yeah.
Family.
Oh, don't bring up Sirius. Oh my god.
That's how it's going to go though. If he doesn't die in some like big battle at the end, it's going to go down like that.
I 100% am still on board. This is my standing theory because of the intro excerpts that we get from everything is being transcribed to modern day language from Justinia. Mm-hmm. That dead being they're all dead, not just Brennan, like all of them. And Rebecca has said they're endgame. So what an
endgame.
What an epic, like, honestly, have you read a book though where like the whole world just implodes and like everyone dies? No.
Justinia survives.
Well, I'm not saying like the actual world implodes, but like
we have a handful of people who survive and it moves on from there. But that would be crazy.
Justinia
she literally just killed all of our people.
Well, I was thinking like Justinia survived because she's in the archives, but then I'm like, well, no, because I 100% think Basquiat is going down.
Oh,
like
yeah.
At some point that will be in shambles, ruins, and shit. I don't know. I guess I don't know how Justinia survives other than she survives long enough to transcribe shit and then she dies too. I don't know.
It's fine. Our brains are reeling in horrible directions and I hate it.
I kind of love it. It's kind of fun because we don't actually know. So
we could be so wrong. They could literally like ride off on their dragons in the sunset together and be happy.
No fucking way.
Sawyer says no.
I don't agree with it. Okay. Let's leave it at that for now.
Our brains are reeling. If you stuck around with our unhingedness this long, thank you for being here. We appreciate you guys for sticking through it with us. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow us, interact, just do all the things to really help us grow. We would really appreciate it. It helps us just continue on this journey, and we love all the extra support. Anything we can get is greatly appreciated.
Yes, and make sure you go like and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to be the first to know of new episodes and fun, exciting things, because that is where we post most.
Before we go, if you haven't already, check out our last episode where we interviewed Allie with Bookish Dreamers. And our next episode, we have such an amazing interview coming out this next Wednesday on October 2nd. And we are so stoked to share it with you guys. It is going to be great. So make sure you're watching our socials to see who it's with. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, Callie and I will be together again. So everything is just going to come full circle, and we're going to be very happy and be prepared. to be spammed with all of the good things.
Yes. Thank you guys for listening and being here and being a part of the FanTEAsy Podcast. It's been so fun. And on that, we will see you in the next one.
Bye!
Bye!